the root of everything that you do within your enterprise, people are at the forefront. They're driving that process for you. So you have to really start to pay attention to the humans that are driving your business results for you.
Got it. Hey, MMT followers, I'm Christina Fuges with MoldMaking Technology, back for another quick MMT chat. Today, my guest is Marion Wells, the one and only, who is the founder of Human Asset Management based in the Chicago area. And she is not a new, but I guess a repeat. She's staying on because she's so valuable. Editorial Advisory Board member for the publication. So hello, Marion.
Hi. How are you?
Good. All right. Since joining MMT's EAB in, I think it was 2019, you've remained committed to workforce development. That's how we met. That's what all our conversations revolve around. So why don't you start off by giving a little snapshot of who HAM is and what your current role is? We'll go from there.
Okay, as the owner of Human Asset Management, we are primarily focused on improving the relationship that small to mid-sized manufacturers have with their employees, whether it be around culture, whether it be around development, whether it be around what kind of employee experience do you want to give to these new people, the ones that you're hiring, the ones that you already have there, and to really help them to get ahead of what I call the noise a little bit in the industry. And to use strategic planning tools and to use data to really manage the people side of their business.
All right. So I know that you have a wealth of experience in education and manufacturing, and that includes production, engineering, quality, technical services, customer service, research and product development, sales, new business development and marketing. So when you think about HAM, what of all of that has been the most beneficial to human asset management and why? Give me an example.
I think it's really important that people understand that your assets are working in various departments. And so if one department doesn't function, that it really causes a dysfunctional mishap within the organization. So while operations might be great, it doesn't matter if sales is great. If sales is doing phenomenal, it doesn't matter if we can't get the product to the consumer.
Yep.
So the root of everything that you do within your enterprise, people are at the forefront. They're driving that process for you. So you have to really start to pay attention to the humans that are driving your business results for you.
Got it. So that's great, because all of your background and experience in manufacturing, all those roles that I highlighted, you've had experience in all those roles, so you know how they're all connected and how important it is the people in those roles collaborate together, communicate together, and remain on the same page. So that's where that all comes into play. Okay. So
ultimately, we are moving from an individual perspective to a team perspective. And
yes.
So getting the team to play well together in order for us to service our customers has become even more important.
True. Okay. All right. So let's go. I'm going to go back to the different board positions that you hold. We'll talk about it at the end, but you've recently presented alongside Janine Coons of the Society of Manufacturing Engineers at our MoldMaking conference, and you presented on developing a talent strategy. Janine led in with some really good data on the state of the manufacturing, just the people side. And then you presented the plan. And it led into a lot of nice Q&A. So why don't you share a few tips for our viewers on how they can start creating a talent strategy and what you actually mean by that?
Well, I think it's really important that your people strategy complements your business strategy. So in other words, if you have an overarching business strategy to grow the business, but you haven't thought about the talent that is going to be required to support that growth, then therein lies an opportunity for you to step back and say, what kind of people are we going to need? What kind of skills are we going to need? Where are we going to find these people? Who do we have within our organization that can really help us get the best? Are we going to upskill? Are we going to try to really redefine roles and responsibilities? I think you have to start with understanding your current state and really start to think about what the future for your organization is going to look like in the next 5 years. And then, of course, when you do the comparative, you're going to notice that you got some gaps in the middle, right? And so you got to start to create those improvement plans to address those gaps before you can really get firm in the future vision that you have for the workforce.
Makes sense. You're also passionate about mentoring the next generation. So
Yeah.
give me some positive trends that you're seeing as we move closer to this 2030, when most baby boomers will likely be retired.
Well, some of the positives is that we've done a great job of getting the messaging out about manufacturing. No bars aside. Everybody is
That's
fully
true.
educated now on what's going on in manufacturing, how it's a great opportunity for young people to engage. And they've already started that conversation by working with their local high schools, by having apprenticeship programs, the whole bit. What they haven't really done the next step on is being more inclusive. How do we include these young people in the conversation? How do we take some of their ideas to help them, feel like they are making a difference in the day-to-day business? We have to start listening more and really appreciate what they bring to the party here. And what they're bringing is their knack for technology. They're bringing their ability to see things from a different perspective. They're a little bit more open-minded about us, but are we really truly being open-minded about utilization of them?
Interesting.
So you and I have had this conversation, and we've got to decide, are we going to make them taskers and just have them do things? Or are we going to really spend the time developing them to make them, from a longevity standpoint, be a part of the organization and driving you to what you want in the future?
Yeah, I agree with all that. All right. So tied to that, actually, I think that ties nicely to your other board positions. So you're active on the West Michigan Tool and Die, the Automotive Women's Alliance Foundation's Executive Advisory Council. Tell me about all the boards you're on, but not just that. That's the way you have a touch point to the next generation. So what ones are the most important to you, and how can people help support these organizations that you sit on the boards for?
That the board positions have been very insightful for me. So a board position on a local manufacturer, really understanding his struggles, what they're dealing with, what the owner has to deal with. Then you move to the association level and what they're doing to educate the next generation, especially females, and how are we getting females more engaged in manufacturing. And then you move to the academic side. What is academia seeing at my position at the University of Wisconsin-Madison? Is the curriculum really addressing the skill deficiency that we're seeing in the manufacturing companies, right? And then you get to SME, who is a wonderful organization, and it's taken me a while to really get to know them, but understanding that they're addressing the whole ecosystem of the workforce. They're addressing it from the academic side. They're addressing it from the employer side. They're addressing it from, just educating manufacturers on utilization of talent within their workforce.
So it's really not one that somebody should focus on. It's getting involved in several that I guess that you can get to know, right? And have a passion for that group and really help, because getting involved in too many, you're not going to accomplish anything. But there are plenty of resources and groups out there that are on that same mission.
Absolutely. But getting involved is the key word.
Yeah.
to not be involved in an association. I think MAP has done a great job. I think AMT has done a great job. I think that, the AMBA has done a great job. PMA, you have all of these associations.
Yeah.
The one thing that SME brings to the party that, a lot of them are just now starting to get traction around is actually offering the tools that can really help you move that workforce to the level that you want them to. Some of these associations are now starting to do that. They have workforce development officers now embedded in associations. They are now offering training and coursework that you can take. They are also advocating at the governmental level. So once we get the alignment around the ecosystem and what the manufacturing needs are from a people standpoint, we're there. Because the government has done a great job of throwing money at this, the CHIPS Act, the infrastructure bill, the defense bill, the energy, monies. But what they haven't done and what they're getting ready to start to peel back the onion on is the people side. And how do we create a landscape where everyone can go to one source for resources or information to help guide them as they make up their own strategy plans internally within their organization. And SME is doing a phenomenal job at that. They have become what I would call the industry spokesperson of workforce development.
All right. Nice support for that group. So everybody should check out. I think it's sme.org, correct?
Yeah. And as Janine discussed at our presentation, they have resources that are logistically focused. So you can go to your state offices and really start to have that conversation, or reach out to SME on where are the free resources that I should be utilizing. I just really think that people are so overwhelmed with the day-to-day practice of running the business.
Of course.
Don't have a dedicated resource that spends the time understanding the people side resources that exist out there that are free, that we can utilize and really start to bring some of those programs internally into our own organizations.
Agree. All right. Last but not least, I know that you travel a lot and you're in and out of a lot of organization, manufacturing facilities. So is there one particular trip, and even you do a lot of pleasure trips too, is there a particular trip that you learned something or experienced something that you brought back to the business, or that you learned about that you can apply to your passion for this next generation and workforce?
What I'm seeing is that as the baby boomer starts to depart an organization, and the organization starts to hire these newbies, I call it, that there's becoming this split now within the workforce, where you have close to 50% of new employees and 50% of legacy employees. So if you don't have a strategic plan on how you're going to transition those two groups to be able to work together, learn together, be collaborative to improve the business, you are spending a lot of time chasing issues, social issues, people issues, causes you to lose productivity. And when you start to lose productivity, you start to impact your relationship with your customer.
And let's end on that note. It's great advice. Thank you, Marion, for spending some time with us to give us a little more background on who you are and what you're passionate about when it comes to workforce.
Thank you.
And for everybody out there watching, for everything mold making, visit moldmakingtechnology.com. Stay informed and stay inspired.
Make it a great day.